How you guys doing? This is Rich from Rich TV Live. I don't have great news for you. This coronavirus just keeps getting worse. And now we're at 67,100 infected. And we're at 1,526 deaths. So these numbers just continue to get worse and worse and worse. 8,193 have recovered. There are now 57,381 active cases, 46,299 in mild condition, which is 81%, 11,082 in serious or critical condition, which is 19%. It's a staggering number. Closed cases, 9,719. Once again, 1,526 deaths, which is 16% of the closed cases, and 8,193 recovered or discharged. It's terrible. Just terrible. But yeah, you know what? When I talk to people about it, they act like this is no big deal. People still acting like it's no big deal. It's only 1,500 people dead. No big deal. It's only in China. No big deal. This is now called COVID-19. China alone has 66,492 cases now, 2,641 cases overnight, 1,523 total deaths, 143 cases overnight that have died, 8,096 that have recovered, and 11,053 in serious or critical condition. That's in China. Japan. Numbers are growing in Japan. 259 in Japan, 1 death, 11 recovered, and 9 in critical condition. 67 in Singapore, 17 recovered, 8 in critical condition. 56 in Hong Kong, 1 dead, 1 recovered, 7 in critical condition. 33 in Thailand, 13 recovered, 1 in critical condition. 28 in South Korea, 7 recovered. 19 in Malaysia, 7 recovered. 18 in Taiwan, 1 recovered. 16 in Germany, 1 recovered. 16 in Vietnam, 7 recovered. 15 in the USA, 3 recovered. 15 in Australia, 10 recovered. 11 in France, 3 recovered, 1 in serious condition. 10 in Macau, 3 recovered. 9 in the UK, 1 recovered. 8 in the UAE, 1 recovered, 1 in serious condition. Now 8 in Canada, 1 has recovered. 3 in the Philippines, 1 has passed away, 2 have recovered. 3 in Italy, 2 in serious condition. 3 in India, 1 recovered. 2 in Spain, 1 recovered. 2 in Russia, 2 recovered. 1 now in Egypt. The first case in Africa, now in Egypt. We are now in Africa. The first case in Africa. It's now touched Africa. 1 in Sweden, 1 in Belgium, 1 in Cambodia, 1 in Nepal, 1 recovered in Nepal, 1 recovered in Cambodia, 1 in Sri Lanka, 1 recovered, 1 in Finland, and 1 is recovered. This coronavirus does not want to go away. It is now in 29 countries. I predicted it would hit 100 countries. We are now in 29 countries in 3 weeks reporting this coronavirus. It has now grown to 29 countries. When we first started reporting on this, and you can see all the videos, I've created a playlist just for coronavirus, so you can see how it has escalated every single day and continues to get worse. When I first covered this, there was 1 dead. And I remember it was a Friday. This might be 4 weeks now. I don't think so. I think it's 3 weeks. I think it's been 3 weeks. There was 1 dead 3 weeks ago. Now it's 1,526 dead. There was 300 infected. Now the number is 67,100 in 3 weeks. How you guys doing? Thank you guys for joining. Love to hear you guys' feedback. We're live, guys. We're live. We're live and we're talking about the coronavirus, and these numbers continue to get worse. And now there's all kinds of news talking about new curfews, new rules. It's crazy, man. It's absolutely nuts what's going on here. Absolutely nuts. And unfortunately, every day I report this and every day it gets worse. We just had the first BC, or the fifth, BC identifies fifth presumptive case of COVID-19, woman who traveled near Shanghai. It's making news, it's breaking news, it's spreading all over the place. But yeah, you know, when I talk to people, they try to act like this is no big deal. They act like I'm crazy. They act like I'm a fearmonger, creating fear. If I'm creating fear, then why is it everywhere? Why is it being spread everywhere? Why are people talking about it on every single news outlet in the world? Your put options are getting wrecked. What are you buying puts on? It's a market melt up. I don't know why you're putting puts out on stuff. It's a market melt up. Right now is the time to buy calls, not puts. Now people are predicting that this is going to last for 12 to 18 months. People are saying that, experts are saying that this is going to be a long virus, that it's going to take a long time for this to go away. That's going to take a long time for this to get better. Why is the stock market not reacting to the virus? Because the stock market is heavily manipulated. Stock market's heavily manipulated, that's why. And when you have quantitative easing and you've got the government just buying up stocks, you got the elite buying up stocks. It's an election year. It's just a cocktail of reasons why everything's just going to continue to go higher. That's why I predicted a market melt up. Now, when I predicted the market melt up, I never anticipated we'd have to deal with the coronavirus. But I mean, there's so many different reports. Coronavirus death toll mounts for China as US braces for long fight and more cases. I believe this is just the start, guys, and I believe this is going to get way worse. When you study business, I think this is going to get way worse. And I've been correct, because since I've been talking about it, it's been getting worse every single day. I heard a report today that China has admitted that 1,700 doctors, nurses, and volunteers who have been trying to help people with the coronavirus have now been infected with the virus. 1,700 people who risked their lives have now been infected with the virus. Out of those people, 6 of them have died. We have no idea if these numbers are true. These are people who are heroes. They risked their lives trying to help mankind. I've also heard articles and experts say that China is giving us a window of opportunity to prepare ourselves for a global outbreak. And in 3 weeks, we went from this being mainly in Asia to now it is spread all over the world in 29 countries. And I honestly don't know when it's going to change or when things are going to get better. I have no idea. If they could even get better, I have absolutely no idea. None. No idea as to whether or not this will get better. I'm very concerned. I'm extremely concerned. I'm concerned about our future. I'm concerned about my children's future. I'm concerned about your future. I'm concerned about your children's future. I'm concerned about your grandchildren's future. And yet, when you talk to people, they act like no big deal. 29 countries, over 1,500 dead, 67,000 infected, and people acting like it's no big deal. Look at what's going on now. Bullies attack Asian American teen accusing him of having coronavirus. A 16-year-old boy in Southern California was physically attacked this week by bullies in his high school who accused him of having coronavirus simply because he is Asian American. Disgusting. This is so disgusting. First of all, for the ignorant out there, if someone has the coronavirus, why would you touch them? Why would you go near them? And why would you bully them if they have a deadly illness? If they do have a deadly illness, you think they don't have enough negatives? You need to give them more? This is where the real ignorant get a chance to stand up. This is where the real ignorant get a chance to rise up. If you're ignorant, you're the type of person that goes and jokes around about a deadly virus that's killing people. If you're ignorant, you're the type of moron that goes around and starts hounding Asians and saying that they have the coronavirus because they're Asian. Hello, McFly. How stupid can people be? Can people really be that stupid? And this starts in the homes. This starts in the homes. When are people going to wake up and realize that this is a very serious problem? When are people going to realize that this is not a joke? When are people going to realize that this is affecting people? People are dying. Those are people's husbands, wives, sons, daughters, mothers, fathers, grandfathers, granddaughters. It's absolutely disgusting. So for people to sit there and ridicule people, mock people, it's just sad. It's just sad. Right now is when humanity needs to come together to fight this deadly virus, not pull apart and start pointing fingers at Asians. The Asians have been the ones that have been hit the hardest. If anything, we need to open up our hearts to the Asians. They've lost the most. Not only have they lost lives, and not only are thousands of Asians fighting for their lives, but the entire economy in China has completely shut down. So the economy in China is getting destroyed. People are dying. People are getting infected. People are getting pulled out of their own homes to get tested so that China can try to quarantine this illness so it doesn't spread all over the world and we all get infected. And only the ignorant, the truly stupid, would sit there and ridicule or bully somebody because they're Asian. Scott Norris says, I believe this is artificially started. You know, everybody has an opinion. Nobody knows. Nobody knows. Was it artificially started? Did it start because somebody ate a bat? I don't know. I don't have all the answers. What I do know is I'm reporting on this every single day, and every single day the numbers get worse. Every single day the numbers get more devastating. Every single day the amount of countries seems to grow. Every single day the amount infected seems to grow. But yet, regardless of the amount of people that get infected, regardless of the amount of people that die, people in North America continue to act like it doesn't affect them. I'll tell you this. I'm in Vancouver, and we just got our 5th case in Vancouver. And I told you guys this is Vancouver. I told you that Vancouver is filled with Asians. I have Nothing against my Asian brothers and sisters. I love everyone. I don't care where you come from. I don't care what your background is. It makes no difference to me. I have a lot of Asian friends, and I'm not scared to meet them. I'm not afraid to go around Asian people. On my son's soccer team, he has Asian players on his team. They got Asian parents. I'm hanging with them yesterday. I'm not wearing a mask. I'm not living in fear. But the reality is we're not living in China. We have no idea the type of hell that those guys are going through right now in China. The ladies and gentlemen in China that are living with this disease are literally living in hell. It's a horror movie of epic proportions. And only the ignorant, only the stupid, only the brain dead would be mocking, bullying, and ridiculing people who have a deadly virus. And then you got to be completely stupid to sit there and try to say to someone just because they're Asian that they have the coronavirus. That's beyond stupid. That's beyond disgusting. It's beyond sad. I really don't know what to even think, and I really don't know what to say right now. I'm disturbed by the way the world is treating this. I feel like we're being lied to. I feel like all the governments in the world are lying about this. I don't feel like we're being told the truth. I don't know what the truth is. But what I do know is this is real. And it's real bad. And it's just a matter of time until we start having people dying outside of China. We've had one death in Hong Kong, one death in Japan, one death in the Philippines, and let's see now how many deaths in China. It's disturbing. 1,523 deaths in China. Everybody's saying you need to prepare. Stock up on food. Stock up on water. 6 months of reserves. Avoid large public gatherings. $67,100 people have this virus in 29 countries, and people still don't think it's real. If we knew the real numbers, Anthony Alvarez says, Rich, if we knew the real numbers, people would start to react and take this pandemic seriously. I know. And this is why I'm trying to tell you guys, like, don't you find it disturbing that I've been reporting on this for 3 weeks, and every time I report on this, the numbers go up? And in 3 weeks, we had one dead. Now we have 1,527? 1,526 dead? 67,100 infected? Just so you guys know, there's 66,492 infected in China. The rest of the world has about over 600 infected now. So just to let you guys know, 3 weeks ago, this was only in China. And a few surrounding countries. And 3 weeks ago, there was one dead in China and 300 infected. In 3 weeks, we've now grown to 600 infected worldwide. 600 in 3 weeks. Remember, 3 weeks ago in China, there was one dead and 300 infected. Now, 3 weeks later, the Chinese population that is dead has grown to 1,523, and the population of China that's infected has grown from 300 to 66,492. Worldwide, we had almost no cases 3 weeks ago. Now, 3 weeks later, worldwide, we have 600 cases. And 3 dead outside of China. Do you not see where this is going? Like, how ignorant can people be to not realize what's coming? If you don't think that this can wipe out humanity, you're not really paying attention. And if you're not really paying attention, then I think you should, because I guarantee you 3 weeks ago, there was a lot of people in China not paying attention. And I can guarantee you now that everybody in China is paying attention. So what's it going to take for people in Canada and the United States to pay attention? It's going to take people to die, right? Well, I'm going to make a prediction. People will die in China, people will die in Canada, people will die in the United States, and people will die all over the world. I'm making that prediction right now. And I'm not making that prediction because I want to. I'm making that prediction because 3 weeks ago, I talked about this. Everyone thought it was a joke. There was one dead. In China, 300 infected. 3 weeks later, 1,523 dead, 66,492 infected. Do the math. Do the math. It just landed in Canada. It just landed in America. Do you honestly think that the only dead are going to be in China? Do you really, truly believe that? Because if you do, then you got some serious, serious negative things that are about to come. Mystic Mind says, I heard a Channel 4 from the UK say 60% of the world population infection today. Bloomberg reported yesterday that there's a very big likelihood that 60% of the world's population are going to be infected. That is 5 billion people. And if they get a good handle on this, only 1/3 of the world will be infected, which is 2.5 billion people. You think that you're safe? You think you're safe? There's 7 billion people in this world. If 5 billion get infected, do you think you will be safe? Why are you going to be safe? Five Finger Limited says, I didn't think it was a joke. I know, you're getting prepared, Five Finger. You're pulling kids out of the schools, right? I'm concerned about humanity. I think we all need to prepare. I'm not prepared. I'm not going to deny it. I've done nothing to prepare. I've just been trying to prepare myself mentally for this. But I'm not prepared. I'm glad that you're safe, Five Finger Limited. I hope we're all safe. I hope everybody stays safe. But I think we need to start taking this seriously. And the more people start spreading the news and the more people start preparing themselves, the more people start taking this seriously, the more we will be ready when it comes. Because just so you know, it's already here. I'm in Vancouver and we just got our 5th case in Vancouver out of 9 in Canada, or 8 in Canada. 5 of them are in Vancouver. Remember what I told you guys about Vancouver? I told you here in Vancouver, it's like Vancouver because we have tons of people from Hong Kong that come to Canada, tons of people from China that come to Canada, tons of people that from the Philippines that come to Canada, tons of people from Asia that come to Canada. China, Japan, Hong Kong, Philippines, Indonesia, and surrounding areas. They come to Canada. And I told you guys it was coming to Vancouver. And guess what? Here it is. I predicted that first, remember. Before there was even one case, I said, watch, it's coming to Vancouver. Bam, here it is. Today the 5th case was reported. A white lady. She's not Asian. It's a white lady. She's got it. Do I think this will be a bad outbreak in the US? Absolutely. I think this is going to be a bad outbreak all over the world. It's already in 29 countries. It took a while for it to really spread in China. I believe it's going to take a little while for it to spread in Canada and the United States, but it's going to spread. Whether we like it or not, call me a fearmonger, call me crazy, but I predicted that this would spread 3 weeks ago when everyone thought I was nuts. I predicted it would show up in Vancouver. Now we have 5 cases. So am I right or am I wrong? I told you this was real 3 weeks ago and everybody thought I was nuts. People were joking about it. I don't see anybody joking about it anymore. On our stream, there's nobody joking about it. 3 weeks ago, people were laughing at me, calling me a fool, calling me an idiot, calling me a fearmonger. All I'm doing is talking, but you know what? This talking is creating awareness. This talking is creating awareness. And what I want to do is I want to create awareness, because if I can just save one life, two lives, five kids, five adults, five parents, five women, five men, five friends, five family, then I did my job. So everyone has their own opinion. You can say I'm just talking, but I'm the first one on YouTube that started this 3 weeks ago, and I haven't stopped, and I'm going to continue to, because 3 weeks ago, everyone was saying, yeah, you're just talking. And 3 weeks ago, everyone was saying you're a fearmonger. At that point in time, there was one dead, 300 infected. Now we have 67,100 infected worldwide in 29 countries and 1,526 dead. So am I right or am I wrong? So there are people that are watching this all over the world. And I get messages from people all over the world every single day in countries literally all over the world, including China. And if I can just create some awareness and make people understand what this is and help them understand how serious this is, and we can get people to understand that they need to do something to prepare themselves, and we can save lives, then I've done something to make a difference. My ex-wife thinks I'm crazy. She doesn't care. My kids think it's no big deal. They don't care. A lot of my friends, a lot of my family think it's no big deal. They don't care. But I care. I can't force people to care. But what I can do is I can create awareness. And some of you will listen, some of you will prepare, and some of you will be saved. Others won't listen, others won't be prepared, and others will perish. I mean, our government's bringing them in. Our government's bringing them in. There's 50 people being quarantined in Edmonton right now. There's people being quarantined in Ontario right now. Our government's letting them in. We have no idea how long this virus stays in your system. We have no idea how long it takes to show symptoms. The fact that we're bringing people in from ground zero is so ignorant by our government that I just can't believe it. I was the first one that said that we should have a global travel ban. I've been saying it for 3 weeks. We should have a global travel ban to stop the spread of this deadly virus. Nobody listened. Now some countries are saying, no, we don't want to open up our borders to you guys. But not Canada. We're letting them in. We're letting them in. We're putting our entire population at risk. You're right, I do have to organize. I'm still trying to wrap my head around this. I'm not ready. I'm just being honest with you guys. I'm not ready. Do I have supplies? Yeah, I got supplies maybe for a few months, but I don't got 6 months of supplies. I definitely don't have water for 6 months. I don't even know how to prepare. I've never prepared for anything like this. But this is big. And it's scary. And I believe that this is going to be an opportunity for people all over the world to come together and either realize that this is a chance for all of humanity to be affected, and we need to work together as a human race to find a solution for this, and to create quarantines and to create separation between the sick and everybody else. And we should have bans. We should have travel bans. We should have a global travel ban. Who cares about the economy? We're talking about wiping out the human race. Angry Rabbit says 1,700 Chinese health professionals infected. Those people risked their lives to help mankind. Those people are heroes, and they've been infected. This infection doesn't care what your name is. It doesn't care what your color of your skin is. It doesn't care what your background is. It doesn't care how much money is in your bank account. Remember, a lot of the people that got infected that have died from this, some of them were on cruise ships. Those cruise ships are not cheap. Those are really expensive dream vacations. That means rich people are dying. That means wealthy people are dying. Bloomberg put out a report yesterday that says that 2/3 of the world's population could be infected. That's 5 billion people. An expert said that if we get a good handle of this, only 1/3 of the world's population would get infected. That's 2.5 billion people. If people go back to work in China, China is on the verge of not just economic collapse, but I can't even imagine what would happen if people start going back to work. I can't even imagine what would happen if people in China start going back to work. The amount infected will grow in the millions. We have 67,100 infected worldwide, 66,500, just under 66,500 in China alone. You're going to send them back to work? How? How? How are you going to send them back to work? Streets are being disinfected. Streets are being disinfected. Our streets are not being disinfected here in Canada. Our streets are not being disinfected in America. In China, the streets are being disinfected. Now you're going to send those people back to work? People are being ripped out of their own homes against their will. You don't think this is serious? Imagine if people are going to start getting ripped out of their own homes in Canada and the United States against their own will. That's happening in China right now. Whether you like it or not, the Chinese are going door to door and they're checking your temperature. And if you have a high fever, you're going into quarantine, whether you like it or not. Now, I'm not disagreeing with this. This is the only way to stop the virus. That's how crazy it is. Five Finger Limited says in 2 weeks, it will be devastating. In 3 weeks, it's already been devastating. 1,526 dead, 67,100 worldwide infected. 3 weeks ago, 1 dead, 300 infections. 3 weeks ago, see all my videos. Go to Rich TV Live Coronavirus, go to my playlist, look at all the videos since day one. I started reporting this around January 20th. 1 dead, 300 infected. 3 weeks later, 1,526 dead, 67,100 infected. 3 weeks ago, no dead outside of China, almost no cases outside of China. 3 weeks later, 29 countries, 3 dead outside of China, about 600 cases outside of China worldwide now. It's spread in 29 countries. What do you think is going to happen next, guys? You think we're not going to get dead in Canada? Come on, guys. You think we're not going to have deaths in the US? Come on, guys. Let's be real here. The last time we had an outbreak like this was Ebola. And that was in Africa. 11,000 people died in Africa, by the way. Nobody talks about it. And they were working on a vaccine, but then they realized that, oh, it's only Africans that are dying, so we don't need to come up with a vaccine because they're all poor and they can't even afford to pay for it anyways. Let them die. TC Don't Play says, I think 500 million worldwide deaths. I have no idea how many will die, but I'm very concerned about humanity. I am Canadian, yes. I live in Vancouver. I jokingly call this Vancouver. I said to everybody that I believe that Vancouver will get the virus before we even had one case, and now we have 5. The lady that got the virus is not Asian. She's white. White skin, just like me. White lady. She happened to go to Shanghai, and she has the virus, and she's in Vancouver. The 5th in Vancouver. Out of 8 people in Canada, 5 are in Vancouver. Like I predicted it would be. They predict that experts are predicting on Bloomberg yesterday, and you can see the article. Just type in Bloomberg. 2/3 of the world will catch this virus, has been predicted by experts. 5 billion people with a death rate of 3%. That's 150 million deaths. What are you doing to protect yourself and your loved ones and your children and your friends and your family and your parents and your grandparents and your grandkids? I haven't done anything. All I'm doing is trying to create awareness. I'm still trying to educate the people around me. And even the people around me don't believe it. And it's really frustrating when other people around you do not believe it, because it's very difficult for me to protect my kids as a single father when their mom doesn't believe it. She's going on a cruise in June, and I'm like, cancel the cruise. And she's like, no. And I'm like, oh my God. You're going to take my kids on a cruise. There's 3 cruises that have been infected and have been quarantined, and you're going to take my kids on a cruise? Why? People just don't care. People don't think this is serious because everybody lives in a bubble in North America. If something doesn't affect them, it's no big deal. You think I'm going on a cruise? I ain't going on no cruise. I don't even want to go on a plane because I don't know who's on the plane. I don't know if they've been to Wuhan or Shanghai or somewhere else in the world. There's 29 places all over the world, including Vancouver, where people have it. I don't want to go on a plane and get a deadly virus and then go fly to another country where I may not have as good health care. Here in Canada, at least we have the best potential health care, and it's free for Canadians. So why would I leave to go to a country that's potentially not going to have as good health care, where I'm not going to be protected? That makes no sense. I don't want to go on planes. I don't want to go on trains. I don't want to go on buses. I don't want to go on a cruise. But my children's mom thinks it's a great idea to go on a cruise, and she thinks I'm crazy. She thinks I'm a fearmonger. She thinks I'm drinking the Kool-Aid. To her, this is nothing. The common cold is worse. I'm like, yeah, so when's the last time you saw doctors dying of the common cold? If it's worse, when's the last time you saw a doctor die because they were helping someone that had the common cold? Oh, Dylan, believe me, if I have to, I will call a lawyer. June is still a long ways away. And if the death toll is in the millions by then, and she still wants to take my kids on a cruise, I will call my lawyer. I can guarantee you that. There's no way I want my kids to put their lives at risk because their mom is just living in a bubble, like so many people, and doesn't believe that this would ever affect her or my kids. 5 Finger Limited, believe me, you think I want my kids to go on a cruise, man? I don't want my kids to go on a cruise. I've been talking to their mom about this for weeks, and she thinks I'm nuts. I just sent her a report from Bloomberg, and she's just like, oh yeah. I'm like, that's Bloomberg. That's like one of the biggest $10 billion media companies. That's one of the biggest news sources in the world. You think they're lying too? I'm sending her articles from Bloomberg. I'm sending her articles from all over the world. You're telling me all these people are lying. They're all in on this lie, right? They're in on the lie. And the lady here in Vancouver, she's in on the lie too, right? She's lying about having the coronavirus. Everybody, that 29 countries, 67,100 people, the 1,500 dead, it's all a lie, right? They're all in on this big lie. They're all in this big lie. So frustrating. So people ask why I do this. It's to create awareness. Because if I can save one life, if I can save one kid, if I can save one child, if I can save one adult, if I can save a friend, if I can save a family member, if I can save you that's watching right now and your friends and your family, then I'm doing what is right. Bert says we are safe now. In a month, who knows? Exactly. If you read the Bloomberg article, in the article it says China is giving the rest of the world a window of opportunity. The question is, what are we doing with it? This is a window to protect ourselves, but there's really nowhere we can go because it's already reached 29 countries. So where are we going to go? And even the countries that are not reporting it, how do we know it's not there? We don't know. Just because they're not reporting it doesn't mean it's not there. People might have a cold, they might die, and nobody knows why they died. Nobody knows why they have a cold. They don't even know in some countries what coronavirus is. Maybe they just think it's a hoax. Maybe they're not taking it seriously. They think people are just dying because of a flu. Meanwhile, you got somebody sick, the doctor's now getting infected, other patients are getting infected. Do you understand how this spreads? Do you guys understand how this spreads? Now they're saying that they think it can spread through pipes. Pipes? Somebody on the 12th floor of a building got it, and then all of a sudden somebody in the 4th floor of the building got it. So clearly it's airborne. They don't want to tell us that either, do they? I pray that the cruise ships get shut down. I pray that the cruise ships get shut down. That way I don't have to get into a huge fight, because I don't want to be the bad guy that's trying to save my kids. Why should I have to sit there and fight with my children's mom about the fact that my kids shouldn't go on a cruise when people are dying on cruise ships? People are being quarantined on cruise ships. Why would anyone even want to go on a cruise? It's so idiotic. I don't get it. Amanda, I'm scared for you, Amanda. Please leave Indonesia. Rent out your properties. Just get out of there. Just get out of there while you can, Amanda. You understand you're a sitting duck over there. You got to get out of there. Amanda, you're in Indonesia. You're a sitting duck right now. You need to get out of there. I'm sorry to tell you this, but you got to get out of there. Amanda, you have no idea who could have it. You have no idea. You're surrounded. Indonesia is in the middle of the epicenter. Everything around it has the coronavirus. Oh, man. Amanda, seriously, get out of Indonesia, go to Toronto, spend some time with your daughter. Go on a vacation, rent out your properties. You don't need to stay there. I just think you need to get out of there. If you find a way to get out of there, I would go. Get out of there. Just go. Get out of Indonesia. It's not a safe place. I'm telling you, that part of the world is serious trouble. I have a friend of mine that's in China. I put him on our show. I did a video with him. He's coughing like crazy. And I'm like telling him, like, buddy, get out of there. He's like, Rich, you need to calm down. I'm like, you're in China. You're telling me to calm down? I'm trying to help you. You're my friend. You're showing me videos of how all the streets are shut down. And you're telling me to calm down? I'm trying to save you. Like, get out of there. He doesn't want to listen. Amanda's in Indonesia. She doesn't want to listen. People don't want to listen. I know it's hard for me to tell people to leave their homes. I just want you guys to be safe. You are literally surrounded by disease. Understand, you are surrounded by disease, and it's very airborne, in my opinion. It's airborne. So if you're surrounded by this disease, you need to find a way to protect yourself, get a hazmat suit, and get out. Get a hazmat suit and find a way to get out. I don't care how much it costs. Get a private plane, get a private helicopter, get a private boat, and just get out. Find a way to get out. Just whatever it takes, just get out of there. I don't believe they're telling us the truth. I believe that this is airborne, and I believe that we are all at risk. And I'm really, really scared about our futures. I'm scared about our children's futures. I'm scared about our children's safety. I'm scared about your safety. I'm scared about my safety. You know, people want to talk about stocks, but it's like, Yeah, the stock market's going up. Great. Yeah, cannabis stocks went up today. Great. 1,500 people just died in China. Ask me what I care more about. You think I care more about the conference call with Aurora Cannabis and Canopy Growth? Or you think I care more about humanity and my children and their future and you guys and your future and your friends and your family, my friends and my family? I care more about my friends and my family, my kids and my future than I care about cannabis stocks. Trust me. I care way more about my friends and my family and my future than I care about the big board stocks. Believe me. The big board stocks ain't going to do jack shit for me, and millions of dollars or even billions of dollars ain't going to do anything for me if I'm in a hospital with the coronavirus. And I'm not going to be a very effective dad if I'm fighting for my life in the hospital with the coronavirus. Amanda, you need a place to stay, Amanda. You're welcome to come stay with me. Come to Vancouver. You're welcome to stay with me anytime. Anything you need. I just think you need to get out. I don't want to see anything bad happen to you. If you have a chance to get out while you can, I would suggest you do that. There's a difference between panicking and taking precautions. Oh, because I think that Canada is a lot safer right now than anywhere in Asia. So, yeah, we have 5 people here that are infected, but in China, there's 67,000 and 1,500 dead. So, plus we have much better healthcare here. So, I believe that if Amanda comes to Canada and she is Canadian, she will be better protected. She will be safe. North Korea could end up being the safest country in the world. Aren't people dying on the streets in North Korea of starvation? So yeah, I don't know about North Korea being the safest place in the world. Yeah, coronavirus is in Britain. It's in 29 countries. Amanda, I just think that because you're right there, you need to seriously think about your options before they have a travel ban in Indonesia. Because once they have a travel ban, you will not be able to leave. My hat says don't panic because it's important for us not to panic. We need to stay calm, but it doesn't mean that we shouldn't be taking precautions. And we shouldn't be at least aware of what is going on. It's important to be aware. It's important to be educated. I think one of the safest places will be right here in the Northwest Territories here in Canada. The Yukon, Northwest Territories, Yellowknife, Alaska. In my opinion, those will be the safest areas. Donald Trump seems to believe that in the summertime, the heat is going to kill the plague, is going to kill the epidemic. I don't know where he's getting this information. Maybe he knows something we don't know. TC Don't Play says it's a bioweapon. Maybe it's a bioweapon, and maybe he knows something about the bioweapon that we don't know. I pray that he's right. In Indonesia, saying that there's nobody infected yet. That's why I'm telling Amanda she needs to leave before it starts spreading there. Because if you look at Indonesia, it's right there, an island surrounded by all these infected countries. And they don't got it yet. Reported. They haven't reported that they have it yet. I don't believe them. I don't believe them for a second. How the hell has it reached Canada, but it hasn't reached Indonesia when Indonesia is filled with people from China? Obviously, it's there. They just haven't reported it. So while you have the opportunity, Amanda, to get out, I would do everything I can to get out. Take a couple months off, rent out your property, take a trip. Amanda says, yeah, I'm 100% sure Indo is lying, especially knowing we had direct flights from Wuhan all the way till February 5th. Like right there, that tells you the story. You know it's there, Amanda. My heart goes out to you, and I hope you stay safe. This is a very scary situation. Amanda, I wouldn't go to the airport. I would have to figure out a different way. Private jet, private helicopter, private boat. Find a way to get out of Asia. Even if you have to spend a little bit, it's worth it. We're talking about your safety here. Just get out. You got lots of rich friends. Get them to pick you up in their yacht and take you back to Vancouver. Why are we doing this? Why are we not doing this? That should be the question. Why are people not doing this? People are dying and we're just going to pretend like nothing's happening? It's funny because when Kobe dies and 9 other people, the whole world takes notice. 1,500 people are dead and people are not going to take notice? Come on, guys. Come on, guys. Kobe dies with 8 other people and the whole world is crying for Kobe. And 1,500 people are dead and people don't care? Tells you a lot about people. Tells you a lot about people. Why is Kobe and those 8 people more important than 1,500 people? 1,500 people. 1,500 people. Kobe dies and everybody cares. Everybody's crying. I have friends call me from all over the place crying about Kobe. 1,500 people die in China and people acting like it's no big deal. Why? Why is Kobe and his daughter and those 7 lives more valuable than 1,500 people? If people are going to start grieving for Kobe, why are they not grieving for the 1,500 that have died in China? Is Kobe and his daughter and those 7 lives more valuable than 1,500 people? Really? As far as I'm concerned, if 9 people die in the US and 9 people die in China, it is equally heartbreaking. Now, when that number is 1,500, that's just not heartbreaking. That is a disaster of epic proportions. Those people had family, they had friends, they had kids, they had parents, they had grandparents. They had businesses. They're gone. I guarantee you that 4 weeks ago, they weren't taking this seriously either. This is catastrophic. Yes, Richard, this is catastrophic. And I'm a huge fan. I'm a huge fan of Kobe Bryant. I have a lot of love and respect for Kobe and his daughter and the other 7 people that died in that helicopter disaster. When I heard that 1 person died in China, my heart was broken. When I heard that that grew to 10, my heart was broken. When it grew to 100, I was sick to my stomach. When it grew to 1,000, I was terrified. Now we're at 1,500. Do you guys understand what's coming? Does anybody really understand what's coming? Do you guys really understand what's coming? So, no, I'm not panicking. I'm not wearing a mask. I don't have an underground bunker, but I kind of wish I did. I haven't pulled my kids out of school. What's coming is a global pandemic of epic proportions where people will die all over the world. That's what's coming. You heard it here first. Remember where you heard it first. People will die all over the world. And this plague will hit 100 countries. I said that this plague would hit 100 countries when it was in China. We're now in 29 countries. Was I right or was I wrong? I said that they were lying about the numbers and it would get worse. The numbers have gotten worse. It's escalated. Was I right or was I wrong? DS says it has just barely started. It is just getting started. And Arthur says in 3 years, what will be the numbers? In 3 years, if we don't have a vaccine, we're all done. We're all done. We have no chance of survival if this takes 3 years. Right now, the biggest thing we can do is create a vaccine. We need a vaccine like yesterday. Until we have a vaccine, I'm really concerned about humanity getting wiped out. You guys have heard about the Georgia Stones? How the New World Order predicted population control, global disease, global famine, global outbreak, 500 million survivals. Out of 7 billion people, they want 500 million left. Why would you be one of those 500 million? Have you been selected to go live underground in Alaska? If you haven't been selected, then guess what? You could be a victim just like me. I haven't been selected. I'm not part of some special, I'm not on an ark. I'm not part of some special government program to live under the ground. I haven't been selected, which means I'm just as much a risk as you are. Yes, we are overpopulated, but is this the way that we should depopulate the earth? By having a global pandemic wipe us all out? Is this the way that we should have our lives end? 99% of the world isn't even looking at this. They're not even taking this seriously. It is brutal. There's no doubt about it. Five Finger Limited says millions to die. I agree. It's sad to say, but it's true. It's inevitable at this point. All right, guys, I don't want to create panic. It's Valentine's Day. Happy Valentine's Day, everybody. I just want to create awareness. The numbers continue to rise. I'm sickened. My heart goes out to the 1,526 people that are all nameless right now, that have perished because of this terrible outbreak and pandemic. My heart goes out to the country of China. I can't understand the devastation and the horror that they're living through. I don't know what it's like, and I don't want to know what it's like, and I hope I never have to learn what it's like. I believe that the people of China are very brave, they're very resilient, and I believe that they will find a way through this. My heart goes out to all the doctors, all the nurses, all the volunteers that have put their lives on the line to save humanity. And my heart goes out to everyone and all the researchers that are putting out publications to prepare us, including the one that was put out on Bloomberg yesterday, that had a report that said that a scientist believes that 2/3 of the world will get this outbreak and will catch the coronavirus. 3% of the world will die. 150 million people. Stay safe, everybody. Amanda, stay safe, okay? And please, guys, if there's one thing you can get from this message, is that don't close your eyes to what really is happening. Be aware and be prepared. That's all we can do. And make sure that you tell your loved ones how much you love them. Don't live with any regrets. And pray for the people of China and all over the world that have been infected, that is fighting for their lives right now. And pray for those that have passed. And pray for the heroes that are putting their lives on the line every single day to try to stop the spread of this outbreak before it comes into our communities, before it comes into our neighborhoods. People sitting there making comments about China. China's doing everything they can to try to save us. They're doing everything they can to try to save us. Now, I don't know if I can speak for the same with the Canadian government that's allowing people to fly in here from Wuhan. I don't agree with that. I believe we need a global travel ban. I don't care if it's 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, 6 months, a year. Who cares? We need to do what it takes to save humanity. Thank you guys for watching. This is your boy Rich from Rich TV Live, and I'm out. Peace.